Good morning, league members. This is your commish Mike. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today instead of just your standard long drawn out, drawn out preview. And I keep coughing for some reason. So I'm going to do something called weak spots. This is just primarily for promoting trading in the league. I will go ahead and go through each team and give you their weak spot, quote unquote. Some of it may be a specific position, some of it may be, injury related, age related, etc. all throughout. So I'm going to start with the spreadsheet on the right side, go all the way through. So we will start with Scott, the Dutch oven. So Scott has a very solid team overall, as we all know. I put him number 2 in my power rankings as of right now, even though Eric doesn't know how to do a power ranking properly. And we're going to call out his weak spot as being running back. And you first look at his team, you're like, how is that a weak spot? He has Giovanni Bernard, he has DeMarco Murray. Why is that so weak? Well, the problem is his backups. Ronnie Hillman, he's not seeing the field. I remember Scott, after Moneyball's stomach was sliced open, he basically said that Hillman was going to slide right on in. That's not happening, obviously, at this point. Shane Vereen, nobody knows what he's going to do every single week. Bill Belichick, he's crazy, he's nuts. That's why I have nobody on the New England Patriots whatsoever. So, Scott, I know you just placed a bid for Asiata. I know I got him via my bigger salary cap. He's officially on the block, just so you know. But nonetheless, that is his weakest position, and a spot where if anybody wants to trade with Scott, that would be the spot that he would need. For Roger has a pretty deep team overall, and you're maybe surprised here at what I'm going to choose, but he's his quarterback. And it doesn't make sense, because why? He has 4 quarterbacks. But the problem is he has Cam Newton, who has these messed up ribs. I think he's going to be okay for majority of the year. Maybe misses 1 or 2 more games tops. So I think he'll be all right. But then after that, we have Manziel, Bortles, and Vic. There is a chance Bortles may be starting within the next few weeks. Maybe not. Haven't heard anything about Vic starting whatsoever. Hearing a few whispers on Manziel. But hypothetically, Newton goes out soon. Could be an issue. Newton's bye week. Who's he actually even going to start? Is he just going to take a 0 at quarterback? I don't know. So Roger may be looking for a quarterback that actually plays. For Mike S., this is going to be via injuries primarily. Moreno, Ingram, both out. Sounds like both at least for a month at this point. Moreno possibly longer. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Mike, he's still in the thick of things. He could possibly, make a little bit of a run. I'm pulling up the divisional standings right now. And he's number 2. He's tied for first, actually, 1-1 with Derek and Jason. And as of right now, that is probably the weakest division overall. So he could make a run. But without Moreno and Ingram, it's going to be tough. You know why? Because he has Jacquez Rogers and Blount starting at this point. You may want to make a trade if you're going to play for this year, Mike. I'm just throwing that out there right now. So otherwise, if you're playing for the future, sure, do that too. Myself, kicker is my weak spot right now. I have Robbie Good, that's it. And I guess my other side would just be strictly injuries. I got a couple this past week. Was able to fill some guys in. As I mentioned earlier, I picked up Asiata this week. I'm just going to probably leave him on my bench, even though Charles is injured, strictly because I think Jennings is going to be a better play. Right now, I haven't seen anything major crazy out of Asiato. However, he is on the field all the time. He had a double-digit production week last week. He is going to be the bell cow out there with a few sprinkled in carries for McKinnon. So I like Asiato for the rest of this year. I'm probably going to just sign him to a 1-year contract, and hopefully he can have a couple big games for me when I need him to. For Ferguson, it's going to be more the depth side of things. Quarterback, Nick Foles, good. I think we can all agree he's a solid quarterback. On the bad part, we have Brandon Weeden as his backup and Jake Locker as his other backup. Granted, Locker at least plays, so I think we're going to be okay there, but he's also an injury risk. So, hopefully Foles stays healthy for him all year long. If not, he could be struggling in that quarterback position. The other portion of depth which he has an absolute ton of, so maybe this is more of a superstar type round, is wide receiver. Ruben Randall, Hakeem Nicks, Eric Decker, Sammy Watkins, Beckham Jr., Hawkins, Marlon Brown, Braylon Fell, Ogletree, and Aaron Dobson. A lot of average to below average wide receivers is what it comes down to. So he's hoping for a couple breakout campaigns, a couple old guys that maybe have a couple games left in them. He's kind of set at the rookie portion of things, so in the future he's good. But for this year, if he's going to play for this year, he might want to go after one stud wide receiver. And he's 0-2 in his division right now, so you got to kind of think about that. For Jared, running back, Toby Gerhart has sucked. Tate is hurt again. It leaves you with Forte and Bradshaw, who Bradshaw is also another huge injury risk. You have to trade to win the game. This may be something that you want to do at your running back position. Just because, as we know, Bradshaw did not get through all last year. He did not get through all the year before that. So keep that in mind. Gerhardt's already battling injuries. Tate never gets through a year. And you have one guy, Matthew Forte. So you may want to think about the running back position as well. Eric, I'm going to utilize running back 2 as well. 2, I keep saying as well. So I'll go with 2. Reason why. Andre Ellington, already dealing with this foot injury. He's not practicing really throughout the week. I think conditioning could come into play at some point with him. I don't know if he actually makes it all the way through this season either. James White, still not playing. Trent Richardson, he's not good at all. Reggie Bush, walking injury. Reggie Bush has been known to get injured quite a bit. And you also have Yoick Bell for the line. So, I mean, I know you say you're okay with starting 3 Detroit Lions if you need to / have to. You're going to probably need to / have to more than you want to. So, maybe a little switch up at that position. Otherwise, pretty deep team. For Doug, injury bug has hit him, and he did not even bid on his possible replacement here. Sam Bradford, RG3, both out. Bradford for the year, RG3 for an extended amount of time. Leaves only Tom Brady. Why did you not bid on Kirk Cousins? I'm wondering too. So because of that, does not have a quarterback whatsoever on Brady's bye week. Maybe he's hoping to pick somebody up later on. I don't know. I don't really know what he's doing there. So quarterback is his. For Derek, it's going to be more Derek Mostrom. Age / injury risk. CJ Spiller is the injury bug waiting to happen again. Derek McFadden, same thing. San Antonio Holmes. Ryan Matthews already injured. So keep all those things in mind. And as far as the age side, it's Andre Johnson and Bolden. I mean, he has quite a few stars, or his big players, out of that list that could not make it all the way through this year because of age, because of injuries, etc. So Derek might want to look at getting a little younger at some point or getting some healthier players. Throwing it out there. Derek Naberta, no backup. Wait, you got your backup quarterback. Nice pickup. Kirk Cousins, $3. So he's all set at quarterback now. Running back is actually going to be his position where he needs the most help. And the reason why, he has no real starter. Kyrie Robinson is not a real starter. Freeman, not a real starter right now. Fred Jackson is in a timeshare currently. Murray, he's a backup. He was a 3-man before Jones-Drew went down. Terrence West is now kind of a starter. I mean, he's splitting a decent amount of time. So, and he did have one. Actually, both weeks were pretty decent. So I'm going to give him credit for West. Other than that, he's kind of hurting. Maybe look for that real starter. Maybe look for that star. Again, if he wants to play for this year. Derek Lehman is entire roster at this point. Specifically, why is Michael Bush still on your team? Why is Sidney Rice still on your team? Why is Stokely still on your team? And it may be time to cut ties with Danny Amendola, 0 points last week. I'm just throwing out some options. Do something if you watch this video. And finally, Mr. Andy Helmholt. I'm not going to make any jokes right now about AP, but I thought about it. AP, no more. Good chance from what I've been reading, he does not come back and play at all this year. So not good. Sankey, he's not playing. He's not really playing at all. I think 2 carries or something like that is his average per week at this point. Doug Martin is already having injuries, already sat out a game. Does he sit out this week as well? Carlos Hyde, he's not starting. Frank Gore still is. Is he going to get some carries? Sure, but he's not going to get enough to make a big difference on your team. Grimes, not starting. Starks, not starting. Forsett, not starting, although he's going to be in that timeshare as well. So right now he's really relying on, I mean, shoot, if Doug Martin doesn't play this week. Well, I think we found why Andy's 0-2. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little segment. Again, just something a little bit different, something I think would help out all of us overall. I'm going to run through my picks rather quickly because, again, this is a long video. First game up, myself against, oh shoot, this isn't how I do my order usually. I'm actually going to do a little backwards. In my mind, the matchup, the big game, I believe Eric said the Vagisil matchup of the week in the Dynasty, which I like that. I'm going to go with the swing line matchup of the week. Is going to be the Vinegar Strokes and Swedish Assassin. I always have a hard time saying that name. His basic projections, about a 5-point favorite right now for the Hurricanes. This one is going to be primarily what players are playing and what players aren't playing. If there's a couple that do not play, this could be changed drastically. What's that? As far as the overall outlook, as far as who's starting, you know, Niles Davis for Eric is starting. He will play. Doesn't sound like Charles is playing, so we got lucky on that one. However, we already talked about Andre Ellington. He's questionable. I think he does play. How productive is he going to be? I'm not really sure. Same with DeSean Jackson. He's not practicing. He expects to be out this week. I think Eric probably just left him in right now to make his overall projections look better because he's projected 15 points for some reason still. So I believe he will probably plug in one of his Detroit guys or Patterson. So I think he's still going to do a little bit of editing on this lineup. But the rest of his injury guys look to be good. Des Bryant, T.Y. Hilton. I don't think Nelson has a huge game against Detroit like he did last time. He'll have a big game, not huge. Manny going up against Seattle, that's the best time for Doug to play. Eric is when Manny is playing Seattle. He has a hard time with them. However, on the other side of things, T.Y. Hilton plays Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's defense stinks. For Doug, he has a couple tough matchups. Jeffrey against the Jets. Jets have a good, solid defense. Walker in his first game back draws Seattle. However, Sherman will not be guarding him. But then Arian Foster goes against Giants, horrible defense. Gronk against Oakland, horrible defense. Same with Brady, obviously. I actually like Doug in a possible upset, and I'm going to choose that one right on my screen here. So Doug in the win over Eric. In the next matchup, it's closer than I would think a 2-0 versus 0-2 matchup would be projection-wise. Jared and Roger, 140, 137. Looks like White will play. Looks like Hearns will probably play. So those are the only two injury risks. As far as the actual games go, Jared actually plays a lot of tough defenses throughout Arizona. Tampa Bay is not a slouch. The Jets, Minnesota, Cincinnati. Because of those porous matchups, I actually like Roger in a little bit of an upset win here. Why, you ask? Well, the teams that his people play include Chicago, include Houston, include Washington. Those are three of his biggest players playing three of the worst defenses. So I'm going to take Roger in the upset victory and go ahead and select that. In my next game, we have probably the biggest blowout of the week due to his injuries. Dutch Oven and Michael Samuels. I'm not going to go deep into this one. We already talked about Samuels' injuries. He's rolling out probably one of the worst sets of running backs possible. Oh, I did forget to add Sean Green earlier. So Jacquez Rodgers, Sean Green, and Blount, they're not going to do anything. If Aaron Rodgers puts up 100 points, he may have a chance. Otherwise, Scott in a landslide on this. This is my lock of the week. It will not even be close at this point. So congrats, Scott. 3-0 for you already. I'm just going to put that in. In the Battle of the Belows, we have Jason and Derek Mostrom. Jason Ferguson, that is. Looks like Eric Decker's questionable. I don't know if he's going to be playing that hamstring injury. I don't like his chances to play even. Derek is rolling out multiple Chicago Bears against the Jets. Gosh, this matchup. This might end up in a tie. This could be a tie. I don't even know. I'm actually you know what, because Jason's had some bad luck this year, I think he kind of continues that spree, unfortunately. I'm going to take Derek Milstrom in the win, and then I will take Jason Ferguson to start playing for the future right after that. And in the battle within the division, we have Forte or Dash myself against Derek Naberta. I will take myself in a huge landslide, and I'm going to win our bet on top of that too. Even though I do have two of my big studs out right now with injuries, between AJ Green, between him and Jamal Charles, I'm going to overcome both of those because Dickus team's not good. I don't even know. I mean, they're overperforming consistently. They're not going to do it this week. I'm going to say I'm going to win by at least 13.3 points. So I will also put that in. I think that's everybody. Oh, nope. My second lock of the week for sure is Andy over Derek Lehman. Derek Lehman, we talked about his roster. It's not deep. They have overperformed somewhat. Andy's team has underperformed somewhat, but I think they have a little bit of a bounce back week. Doug Martin questionable to play tonight. I don't even care. Even without Doug Martin, Andy will win. So appreciate it, guys. Have a great night, and look forward to some football. Peace.